than a low kick when he was down.
Man, he's got my respect, man.
Oh, then see, now Royce is barely standing on that leg now. He's
now look at his eyes. Look at his eyes.
Yeah, he's limping.
There's concern there in his eyes.
I think, you know, Sakuraba, when he had vouloues, Gracie, good right leg kick.
Every time
Julio looks nervous. He looks really concerned. Yeah. He's nervous now. Royce has switched to southpaw.
3 more minutes.
Royce has switched to southpaw. He cannot leave that left leg forward anymore.
The thing is, though, he switched to southpaw, but he can't fight in southpaw. You know what I mean? It's not in nature.
Plus, Sakuraba can still get that back leg.
Go get him. Go get him. He can't. He's not going to his brother Warrior.
He wants to go. They're almost fighting 1 hour and
an attempt at an axe kick or a crescent kick. You know, they're going, what was that, an axe kick? Are they getting ready? Are they getting ready to throw in there? Does he have a towel?
Yes, he does. He has a towel.
He has the towel in his hand. He has the towel in his hand. He's getting ready to throw in the towel. I never thought I would see this. They're up. I don't know if he's going to dab him up when he comes back in the corner, but he does have the towel in his hand.
So if he does that, it's not Royce's decision, you see?
Yeah.
But Royce is just taking a beating now. He's taking a beating. Sakuraba is all over him in strikes. He's using the gi, much like Keith Hackney did, controlling him, throwing the right hand. Sakuraba is picking Royce Gracie apart at this point. Sakuraba has got he's not even winded. Royce, unfortunately, has taken a beating so far in the fight.
He's going to do the jump thing or something.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right. I think he might be.
The signature move?
The signature move. Royce has got a scratch on his face. He's bleeding out the mouth. He's got a mouse in his eye, a little cut under his eye also. His leg is taking significant damage in the fight.
How much can a fighter take, or how much should a fighter take? When should you say win?
But that's why I said, guys, for me, it's not about that anymore, you know? Even if he loses, he's got my respect.
Yeah,
he's going to shake his hand because this is he's impressing me a lot.
No, I've always been impressed with his desire. He's not a quitter.
1 more minute. Why did Sakuraba do this, huh? Why didn't he just go for it?
Maybe he's just trying to prove a point and slowly grind him down.
Yeah,
I think he's trying to grind him down. I don't know if he's trying to torment him for the rule thing, maybe, to punish him in a way. Because Maurice, I mean, I know that in some of your fights, did you ever carry a guy because you didn't like him so you could inflict more damage on him?
No, I never did that.
Okay, no,
it's dangerous.
It's dangerous because you can knock you out. Yeah,
it's one.
Yeah, but at this point, it's highly unlikely that Royce Gracie would knock out Sakuraba.
Sometimes people say, "Oh, I wish the fight could have took longer. I couldn't show what I really can do." That's bullshit. You want to take out a guy?
Oh, he did it! Oh, he tried it. But Royce is long and tall.
You know, Sakuraba has really done a masterful job in this round of just taking total control of the fight. He did one of his signature moves, the jump flying kick. It didn't land, but nonetheless,
he attempted it.
To do that shows you're absolutely confident.
Yes.
Royce,
now let's see what's going on in Gracie's corner.
Is walking back a little bit tough. He's got a mouse under his left eye and a cut under his left eye.
You know, if it was me, I wouldn't sit down in the ring right now. I'd be standing up, keep my legs, keep the blood flowing in your legs. Because, boss, you know, you low kick a lot. It's not a good feeling when you sit down and stand up. You want to keep the blood moving and keep walking.
Stand up or let somebody massage your leg while you're standing.
While you're standing, yes.
Best thing to do.
Well, so far, by and large, this has been a tremendous fight.
It is. Oh, it's a good fight. It's a very interesting fight.
It's a very interesting fight. I think aside from a couple of the lockups and the stalemates.
1.5 hours, guys.
1.5 hours past? Yes. So we're going to the 145 mark.
Okay, now here's the action. Royce Gracie down on his back.
It's going to be the jump thing.
He's going to jump up, and there he goes. And Royce tries to do the upward stomp a la Bruce Lee.
He did a good job.
It's Bruce Lee and
Into the Dragon.
Against Bob Wall.
Yeah.
Okay, now here's Mr. Sakuraba again. I'd like to see one of those low kicks, but here we go again. He actually tried to jump and punch him. He landed the punch. He got the punch in.
But do you see what Royce did? How did he reverse him?
Yeah, he moves well.
He moves really well.
It's like Henzo. When he's fighting another show, he has a great guard and great movement.
Enzo got, I think he's got the best movement. I always think from all the Gracie, he's the best.
Yeah, he's the best stand-up fighter for sure.
Also, and he's fast.
He's very fast. I mean, I fought him and he got me like 40 seconds. I didn't expect that from him, but he's got a very good ground game. It's very tight and very difficult to pass, his guard.
Yeah.
He's a nice guard. Okay, here's Royce.
That's a nasty scratch on the side of his face.
That's just a scratch. That's okay.
Yeah, it's not nothing to do anything.
It's a mark for the rest of his life. But you wonder what they say in the corner. What's going on in the corner, you're thinking? Well, you want more?
They're looking concerned. They're looking concerned. They want to stop. You see?
Yeah.
The father's like, they're looking concerned. They want to stop.
His corner man facing him is no-no.
He's throwing in the towel in.
KAZUSHI SAKURABA has made Gracie quit.
He made him quit.
In a significant crowd.
Listen to the crowd.
Standing over your headphones.
And look at Royce. He's going to go like a good athlete. Because of a good fight.
Mr. Sakuraba.
He made him quit. But you notice, Royce didn't quit. He's going to be time for him.
Mr. Sakuraba has triumphed over Royce Gracie in his brand of Brazilian and Gracie Jiu-Jitsu in a tremendous fight here that went an hour and a half. KAZUSHI SAKURABA, hardly breaking a sweat, without a scratch on him, has defeated KAZUSHI SAKURABA. Now, it cannot be disputed that Mr. Sakuraba is one of the greatest, but still, we've got to know whether he's going to continue the tournament. He looks fresh.
I don't think so.
He looks fresh, though.
If he does, he's the man. He's the man. Absolutely the man. There's no one about it. Yeah. But Royce is the man too, guys.
Yeah. Yeah, well,
you know, they both deserve a second ovation.
Yeah.
But they gave out a lot.
Let's give him a round of applause, guys. That's, from us to you. I mean, Royce fought with honor. He got a lot of good strikes in at the beginning of the fight. He tried to control the fight, tried to work his tactics. And there's Sakuraba congratulating Helio Gracie. Sakuraba being very, very honorable, very respectful. There's no bad blood here. It was simply a matter of Sakuraba taking care of business. But it is Royce Gracie's first loss. No holds barred. Royce is making his way out of the arena. Mr. Takada is very, very proud.
Good. They're really good.
A phenomenal showing by KAZUSHI SAKURABA. He ended up dominating the fight. Royce Gracie was winning early on, but it wasn't a point fight.
Right.
Oh my God, guys, this was what a fight.
It turned to be a good fight. But you notice though, they wouldn't let Royce quit in the fight. Yeah, it has to quit in the corner.
Yeah.
Save some face there. It's fine.
But nonetheless, they know because they know he would have gotten really hurt. Yeah. Because it was just a matter of time before he couldn't walk.
Right.
Because he can't walk from the
He can't walk the wrestling, yeah.
Look at the crowd. Listen, man.
Sakuraba's a hero.
He's a hero. Personally,
Жизнь сплошная борьба. Вообще. То есть борется за себя, за свои права, за свое существование, или за хорошую жизнь, или чтобы заниматься чем-то. Придумай что-нибудь.
My style of fighting is just kick out, striking with a little bit of groundwork put into it, but mainly just kick it. Don't miss it. And don't blink. It might happen that quick.
The round lasts 15 minutes.
Big Daddy, Gary Goodridge, 34 years old, born in Trinidad. He's 6'3", and he's right about 240 pounds for this fight.
This is going to be an interesting fight. You got two strikers, two brawlers. On the ground, it won't be pretty, but on the feet, it's going to be one hell of a fight.
Well, it looks to me like Igor has been training. Igor usually has a real smoothness about his body, but he's got some cuts around his ab, man.
Yeah. I think he wants his fight. He wants to win that big money. It made him train. It motivated him to train harder. That doesn't train hard, but he gave out a little bit more, I think.
In Ukraine, it's about, I heard it's $25. It's like the month salary, so you can imagine $200,000.
Okay, there they go, shaking hands with respect, and the rules are being exchanged once again. One of the things you cannot do in Pride is you cannot kick or knee a person when they're on all fours facing down. And here we go. Opening match. Goodridge versus VOVCHANCHYN, the rematch. And they touch gloves.
Here they go.
Sportsmanship.
Gary told me he was going to be patient for this fight. We're going to see that. Igor is always patient. And as Boss alluded to, those eyes of Igor VOVCHANCHYN are ice cold. That's one of his nicknames, Boss.
Yes, ice cold VOVCHANCHYN.
He's got his hot blood shorts on.
He's a nice, cool individual, isn't he?
Not much happening yet.
It's going to be a fill-out, but trust me, Gary's going to try to pick the pace up a little bit, and Igor's going to just use his kickboxing. Understandable aspect, Igor's got better striking ability than Gary, but Gary has tremendous power, so it's a trade-off.
Well, Gary said he was going to frustrate Igor with his jab, and especially his double jab. He said he was going to stick it in his face all night long. We'll see.
It was a good kick there.
That's the start.
He has to lead him in with punches, punch, kick. Don't only kick, especially not with VOVCHANCHYN, because he's going to counter with his right hand, which is his strongest weapon.
Yeah, he'll trap that leg with his left hand and throw the overhand right like he did against Kerr and some others and get the knockdown. Nice right hand by VOVCHANCHYN, and he goes for the sprawl.
So Gary should be off first, shooting first a little bit more. Not to hurt, just to score. Go ahead and pick your shots.
It's a low kick by VOVCHANCHYN into the tie-up and back out.
Yeah, like I said, this would be a striker's fight.
VOVCHANCHYN with a big overhand right. Catches Gary right on the chin.
This will be a stand-up fight mostly, because neither one are really that good in the ground. But this is going to be, I think, very interesting fighting as far as on the feet. Because Gary, right now, I think I said,
VOVCHANCHYN with the uppercut and the overhand right.
He has more tools than Gary.
Gary Goodridge with the guillotine, but Igor's got his arm in. Igor swings out and throws the right hand. Now, the thing is about a tournament is that you've got potentially 3 fights. Right hand by...
And a good knee from Daddy Goodridge. Left knee. Whoa, and a good right hand and another right knee.
The only thing about Gary, he keeps his hands down. So, if he keeps this going, he's going to get caught with a right hand from VOVCHANCHYN. He's got his hands are down and his chin is up. He needs to get himself a little more compact with his upper body. Get his hands in like this, just like he's doing now. And strike instead of just walking forward. He needs to throw some punches back. But just strike. Don't worry about hitting hard. Just strike.
Well, so far, Goodridge has done what he said he would do. He said he would just be patient. And he's been patient. He's landed some good shots. VOVCHANCHYN goes for the shoot and the tie-up. Blocking the knee
again.
Partially blocked by the cross arm. But now VOVCHANCHYN is wide open for that knee, and VOVCHANCHYN goes to the knee.
He's not in good position now. Good sportsmanship, huh?
Yep.
Yeah, that knee was unfortunately a little bit low and unintentional by Igor VOVCHANCHYN. It hurt Gary.
Gary got a cup on? Yeah, he got some cup on. Well, they don't always work, do they?
They have to.
Yeah, they don't always work. But
that was an unintentional.
Yeah.
Now, I can see that these guys are really prepared to go the long run. They're not coming out there swinging and brawling and just going to spend their wad.
Can you say that?
I think they've got up to a 5-minute rest period for Gary to recover from the unintentional groin knee.
He landed some good knees, Daddy. You see Igor breathing hard, but yeah, then again, you know, he's always doing that, and he keeps fighting. He's a special guy.
He won't stop. He's like most fighters. They won't stop if they can keep going. If they can keep going, they're gonna go until there's nothing left. And Igor is known for that. He's like a lumberjack. No, not lumberjack.
He's like the Energizer fighter to me. He just winds up.
He just keeps going.
He keeps going and going and going. Yeah.
Yep, but you can see there that he's in a good condition. He doesn't breathe at all.
Now this is really too bad because I expect that once the match is restarted, there's going to be some fireworks.
But see, this is not really working good for Gary if he wants to make VOVCHANCHYN get tired. He needs to get back in the fight, make him work some more.
He's going to lose his momentum. There seems to be something happening. I hope that maybe Gary hasn't broken his cup.
Maybe, yep.
Oh, he broke his cup.
Yes.
That was a knee, folks. When you throw a knee and you break the protective cup, that is a reason to maybe stop and take a little break.
Yeah, that's not a small enough cup for that man.
You know, I shall tell you one thing for that. Use a tie cup like I do. They're steel. They will never break. They will hurt actually the opponent.
Absolutely. If you throw a punch, kick, or a knee, it will hurt you, not the person wearing the cup. Well, this is good because they will continue. It would have been a tragedy if Goodridge would have been hurt and had to stop fighting, because this is a fight that a lot of people have wanted to see in rematch.
Yes.
Very few people expect this one to go the distance.
Oh my, it cannot be, because this is like tough.
Well, like I said, as far as strategy is concerned, if this was a strategy, which I'm not saying it is, but this is not going to work good from either side because they're both getting rest time.
Yep.
If you were to be the guy, you feel that the guy's going to get tired, you want to get back in the ring and push the guy away. But like I said, as we can see, this is an equipment problem, so I don't know.
There's no problem there, and there was no intent in Igor. Igor is totally cool.
No, you know, boss, these guys in our business are very good athletes and very good sportsmanship. It's beautiful in this game.
And here he comes, back in, and they're ready to go. If anything, they got a rest period out of that. So they're both going to be fresh, and I don't think they cooled down enough to where they lost their heat.
But now it might inspire somebody to get a little more fired up.
So far, Gary has done a lot better than he did in the first fight.
Oh, yes, he's doing really good.
Over there goes Igor with a 1-2-3. He landed the right hand.
Just a little bit, but it was a good counter. It's a good point. The thing is with Gary, he's got to move not backwards, but sideways motions, left or right.
Igor threw that left hook with evil intentions.
And you're going to get hit with a right hand if he keeps going. Gary will, because Igor throws it a lot. He throws a right hand. He doesn't care. As long as he throws it, he's happy.
Well, one thing that Gary told me is that he noticed that Igor ducks down low when he throws his punch, and he tends to meet his chin with a knee, which he did earlier in the round.
You lose him perfectly into the corner, and then he lets him escape to the left, you know. Right. Try to hold him there.
That's lack of stand-up ability. Gary has Igor cornered in the corner, like you said. He has him boxed in, but he's not keeping him there. And that's something they're not working on, obviously, in his camp, how to keep him in. Because all you have to do is cut the ring off,
not only that, but if he was going to use his left jab, he might throw the right low kick behind it the same way Ernesto Hus did when he stopped Igor VOVCHANCHYN. Oh, nice little combination.
And a left kick, too.
Now, Gary, usually when they drop their hands and start clowning like it didn't hurt, it did hurt.
It got through,
but Daddy, I don't know, because Daddy is a special guy, let me say that.
Yeah, he's built like a tank. Double jab by Goodridge, blocked by VOVCHANCHYN.
But if you notice, if you're going to look at it, Gary's just walking forward. He's not putting any particular method behind his madness here. He's just walking forward.
There's that overhand right by VOVCHANCHYN. Goodridge is hurt bad. Good right hook by VOVCHANCHYN.
He should move now instead of going to see. He should move.
Hold him, close the distance, and grab him.
When VOVCHANCHYN has this kind of distance,
this is what he should do.
He can really hurt people. He hurt Gary Goodridge. Goodridge was stung. He was on the end of that punch. Gary threw it with every intention, a Hail Mary punch.
This is what he should do. It's perfect. Hold him and recover.
Yes, you have to recover.
We got 3 rounds of 15 minutes, guys. This is, Jesus Christ, what a tournament. Huh?
Oh, my.
And unlimited rounds, 20-minute rounds in the final.
Yeah, it's a lot to ask of fighters, but, these are gladiators.
Yep.
And that's what they're driving us to go that direction, apparently, to be gladiators.
Yep.
I think that VOVCHANCHYN, if he was starting to slip in the fight, he definitely got back in the match with that punch combination that hurt Gary Goodridge.
Some solid punches, and he took them good. He fought, bit through, and this is good what he's doing now.
See, that's the thing. Like I said, you got a guy
Go
who's
for it.
working on striking, a guy who can strike. And it's not natural for Gary to strike as far as the fundamentals are concerned. He doesn't understand the fundamentals.
Oh, and down they go.
Uh-oh.
And Igor gets the guard.
Why did he let him get the guard?
Gary Goodridge might still be stung from those
No,
punches.
no. I think he's all right. He's gonna feel comfortable. He's gonna want to fight like he fought the last guy. He likes fighting in that position because he can be the dominant factor, he feels.
Now, I don't think that Gary Goodridge is going to leg lock Igor VOVCHANCHYN.
No. Well, you never know nowadays. Everybody's getting smarter.
Yeah, but I wouldn't do it. I
wouldn't
wouldn't
do it.
shoes, you know, it's a dangerous thing to do. Going for a leg lock, you lose position, you know.
Well, one thing that would benefit Gary if he did go for leg lock is Igor does have the ankle wraps, and that would help him because without that, it would just slip right out.
Yep.
It's open.
I don't think VOVCHANCHYN knows a lot about grappling. He had his hand. He has VOVCHANCHYN's hand. If you notice, Gary's right hand has VOVCHANCHYN's right hand underneath his back.
Oh, I see it.
Now,
So
that is
it's
one of VOVCHANCHYN's phantom punches, will you, is that he goes around the outside of the back of the head and strikes with his knuckles against your ear.
But you see, he can't use his other hand, his power hand, because Gary has his hand underneath his small of his back. So Gary has an open side on VOVCHANCHYN's, what's that, his right side?
Yeah, right side.
Right side. So Gary, but then again, Gary has to take advantage of it, and he's not looking. He just punches. He has to look where he's punching.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
That's points going against you.
Yeah, but it's always dangerous.
Yes.
You never take a shot. 10 of these shots gonna hurt.
Well, one thing is that Goodridge, in holding that hand, better be sure that he doesn't spend all his energy just strong-arming that hand.
He has we call it a arm wrestler's grip. VOVCHANCHYN's not getting out of that.
Yes, that's true. And we got the glove.
But cardio can affect the arm wrestler's grip.
Definitely.
I would hit if I was Gary to the body, and I don't know.
Yeah, he should be throwing some low body shots.
Body shots a couple and then go to the head.
Just to the side of the belly button would be a nice
I don't
place.
think those punches from VOVCHANCHYN don't hurt. You know, this guy is a solid punch, even from there.
Now, in Pride rules, there is no headbutting, no eye gouging, and no biting. There's also no elbows to the head.
Right.
And you're forbidden to strike behind the head or the spine.
He's going to go around him.
They let go of that other hand, so now VOVCHANCHYN's got both his guns ready to fire. Even from the bottom, he can sting Goodridge.
Protect yourself. Stay tight. Protect yourself.
He's into his corner to tell him to protect himself. But for what? He's in no immediate danger at this time. He's in top position, but he can capitalize a lot better than what he's doing. But just scoring, just score. Look busy. Doesn't mean to be all hard and powerful. Just look busy. That's it. That's all VOVCHANCHYN's doing. He's just looking busy.
Now, guys, this so far would be a hard one to score because who would you give the advantage to so far, Mo?
Right now, I still got to go to VOVCHANCHYN right now.
Oh, my God. You just let him back up without paying the price. Nothing. He could have just walked in and thrown a punch at least when he stood back up, but he just let him get up like fair play. VOVCHANCHYN goes to the overhand right. Goodridge blocks and knees with that right knee.
That was a good punch from Goodridge there.
Great hand by
VOVCHANCHYN. Yes.
My God, guys, what a fight.
Oh, this is a tremendous fight.
Oh, that hurts.
Good left hand by VOVCHANCHYN.
VOVCHANCHYN's being very aggressive. He knows now Gary's a little tired. He's being aggressive.
He's going to the body to capitalize on
that
that
liver
tiredness.
kick came through. Oh.
Gary
Gary's
is tired.
getting tired now,
Gary is
yeah.
tired. It's too bad because it might be a matter of time before VOVCHANCHYN. Oh, and a partially blocked. VOVCHANCHYN elbow
Whoa,
block.
here comes the right hand from VOVCHANCHYN. Yep. See, VOVCHANCHYN's just scoring. He's just doing smart.
Yeah. He's going down low. He's going to look to dig that left hook to the body, but Gary Goodridge tied him up.
If Gary could kick, he should kick as well.
Yes, I think so too. And he can kick. He told me that he works on kicks.
See, because you got to understand, throwing knees, I find to be they espouse a lot of energy.
They're both getting tired now. Whoa.
Good left kick.
Whoa.
And
Every time
Igor slips right out of the way of that right hand.
Good knee to the body. Oh, and
Good
that.
left hand by Gary Goodridge.
Oh!
Big right hand by Igor VOVCHANCHYN. Gary Goodridge is in big trouble. He's in big trouble.
That's it.
The referee has stopped the fight. Igor VOVCHANCHYN by TKO. Whoa. That was a huge right hand.
Yes, it was. And
My God, he's exhausted. Both of them.
But Gary's upset with that decision. But most fighters tend to be upset with any decision that's not in their favor.
You know,
but he got hit with a good shot.
I think Igor VOVCHANCHYN, in winning that, had to spend a little bit more than he had expected. He might have taken Gary a little bit lightly, but he did end up finishing him off. Okay, 10 minutes, 14 seconds.
The first round.
By knockout. Actually, it was a TKO because the referee had stopped the fight. Now that was a tough fight.
Yeah, but like I said, the difference being I felt was that Igor's got more striking.
Look at this. The left first hits him. Watch the
that right hand.
That's the one that did it.
Was almost like a push punch though, and Gary just slips and he's just.
Yeah, he's slipping also.
He's hitting the back of the head, kind of.
There it is again. There's the.
Right.
Now Gary landed a good left hand there.
Right there. See behind the back of the head.
Oh, that was a tough one. Right on the cranium, the base of the skull, and he just does the
equilibrium was gone. Yeah. Now here, was it a just stop?
Yeah, I don't believe that it was necessary.
There it is, right there. There's the overhand right. It was almost like a ridge hand.
Yeah, but watch this. He slips out. You see that he slips. He just slips. You see he slides out.
Yeah.
But he's protecting himself. So he could have kept going.
Yes, it could have kept going.
Well, I think one of the things that the referees here do is that they try and protect the fighters.
Oh, and that's what it's all about.
小さくても頑張ってるやつがいるっていうのを見てもらってます。あんだけ違うからこそやりがいがあるし、自分でもすごい楽しみにしてます。やっぱり外人には負けたくないです。
Fighting has changed my life. Thank all my fans who have stood by me for such a long time. It's been a up and down few years, but I've had a lot of loyal fans send me emails to tell me to keep my head up and stay involved in fighting, because I did go through some rough times, and I told people I was going to be around for a long time. I'm still here, and I'm going to be a champion again, and I appreciate all the support.
I've had the pleasure of knowing both these gentlemen. One, I fought Mark, of course, and two, I've trained with Shoji. He came in Seattle to learn some kickboxing. Shoji, like I said, is a tough opponent. Whether he gets caught early, it's up to Mark. But then how much energy does Mark have in later rounds as well? So it's going to be an interesting fight.
Okay, I think this is going to be an interesting fight. I think power is going to be definitely in Mark Coleman's favor.
But striking may be in Shoji's favor, I feel.
I think so, and Shoji is a very wily individual. He went the distance. Okay, here we go. This is
Coleman.
This is Mark the Hammer Coleman, one of the most well-conditioned athletes from a strength point of view ever in the sport, as far as his strength.
Yeah, he has great, tremendous strength, but, you know, in fighting, it doesn't matter how long you maintain that strength.
Well, that came into play when you fought him, Maurice, in UFC 14. His strength was, but you outpatiented him.
Well, the difference being is that Mark fought more, me more with emotion instead of fighting under knowledge or what have you. But he's learned from that. The loss actually made him a better fighter. Sure, he lost the next fight against Pedro Rizzo, but you know that he's become a smarter fighter. Now, whether that transpires in this ring or not is another issue, because it depends on how much throw you get to Mark's head.
Now, Mark Coleman is currently trained by Pat Miletich, who is the current UFC lightweight champion. Pat behind him right now in the walkthrough. Coleman is 6'1", and he weighs 235 pounds for this match. He's 35 years old, and this will be his 4th appearance in Pride.
So he's not working along with another gym in Georgia?
No, he's currently training. He's been training with Pat Milicic for a couple of weeks now, and Pat's really happy with his cardio. Pat said he put him through some hellacious cardiovascular workouts, and that would have made most people throw up. And Coleman evidently just didn't even blink. I think in this fight, it's going to be a real interesting clash of styles. I wonder how aggressive Mark Coleman will come out. That could be to his detriment if he does.
Well, I think what he's going to do. Once he's on the ground, he's going to make a big explosion. Because he's going to shoot in, and he probably will get him on the shoot. Probably not as fast as I can't take it out of my fight with him.
And here he is, Mark the Hammer Coleman.
But he's going to shoot in, and then on the ground, he probably will explode for a minute. And then he'll focus himself a little bit.
Former 3-time UFC champion. He won 2 UFC 8-man tournaments. He also won a UFC super fight against Dan Severn. And here's his opponent, AKIRA SHOJI, making his way up. Both men entered the Grand Prix opening round in January. Mr. Mark Coleman won by a neck crank, as you mentioned, to Masaki Satake in 114 in January. And Mr. SHOJI made it into the finals here in May by a decision over Ebenezer Fontes Braga from Brazil.
Yeah, I saw that fight, interesting fight, both of them. But Coleman, he's a strong competitor, but we're going to see how he fights this fight. I know when he gets on the ground, he's going to make a quick explosion. After that, he's going to focus on control and strike.
And here we go.
All right, here it is.
Milicic has spoke very highly of Mark Coleman's new stand-up ability, so we're going to see some of that. We might even see some boxing.
Out of Mark?
Out of Mark. Milicic told me, he said, his stand-up is much better. He came in and with an open mind and picked up things really quick, basically did everything we asked him to do. Watch out for some KOs. Those are Pat Milicic's words.
He's actually throwing a jab. He's throwing a jab now. He threw a pretty decent jab.
Yeah, Coleman is really excited about getting back in here. He feels that this is the best tournament that he's ever been in, and he feels it's an unbelievable group of people. He feels very fortunate to be lucky, and he's trained as hard as he possibly could, and he's looking forward to getting back on top of the sport, as he says. Coleman is boxing fairly well. Oh, nice low kick by SHOJI.
He's not worried about the first few. The first few aren't going to really matter because he's going to shoot in pretty soon.
But he's cracking pretty hard. If Coleman is thinking boxing, he might start eating low kicks. If he's not thinking wrestling, because his forte is wrestling. We know him as the wrestler, but right now he might be thinking boxing, because SHOJI will exploit that by using the low kick, which is the defeating factor of a straight boxer.
He's going to shoot soon, Marcus. You see, he's slowly inching himself in. He's going to try to corner him and shoot in, or he's going to punch. I don't think he should punch, so he should go ahead and get him on the ground. This is with Pat. Pat's going to throw more jabs.
Oh, there's a knee by Coleman. Coleman tries the single, and he gets the single leg, and he's down into a half guard.
See, you notice he's really calmed down. See, I thought he was going to attack right now.
What? Is he tapping? Oh, no. Bullshit!
Oh, there seems to be some kind of controversy. I think Coleman did land a knee, and Coleman is angry. I hope he can regain his composure. Coleman doesn't want to get angry here and get out of his game plan. He landed a knee.
There could have been a low blow, that's what they're saying.
There was a knee before they went down, and he may have fallen on him with his knee.
Yeah.
And SHOJI is not one to fake.
No.
You know, Coleman's got to keep his composure. He's got to stay cool. He can't let this get to him, because that will throw him out of his game plan.
Yeah.
I think one of the things that you did when you fought Mark Coleman, you got him out of his game plan. You got under his skin a little bit verbally, and then it made him make some mistakes.
Yeah, that's the thing. He has to stay focused in the game. He has to stay focused in the fight, and don't let it bother him, you know. But, you know, that comes with he's a competitor like that, and he has to learn to control
here's
that.
the knee. Okay,
oh, yeah, it is a low shot.
It was a little bit low. It was right on the, it was like, but.
It wasn't purpose.
Yeah, it was not a purpose, but it looks like they're going to go for a yellow card, so they're going to give him a warning.
No.
But Coleman can't let this get to him. He's got to stay cool. Okay, there's the knee again, and
watch. Yeah.
It was an unintentional knee by Mark Coleman. SHOJI is recovering, and Coleman has gotten a warning, which means he was issued a yellow card. I don't think it'll be a factor because Mark did not do it on purpose. Mark is not a cheap shot guy. He's a real, honest, straight-up guy. Shoji's back in the fight. And Shoji's been fighting pretty smart so far, using the low kick to neutralize the boxing. Shoji comes in with a flurry. Right hand by corner. Just grazed off the top of the head of Shoji. Good thing Shoji ducked.
Under that one, yeah.
Good thing, because that was a hard shot. Coleman's coming out throwing some serious left.
His mind's at the game. He wants to kill now. That's when you got to focus, relax.
Yeah, he's got to make sure he doesn't, shoot his energy. Shoji is good in this guard position. We know that. We know he's really good at jiu-jitsu. Shoji is from the A3 gym here in Japan. He's on the bottom. Doesn't seem worried. Seems very relaxed. Coleman stacking up high.
A lot of fighters now, they're not really focused, worried about getting hit in the body. They're all relaxed now. The sports have evolved to the level it's now. It's incredible. It's beautiful.
Well, here Coleman is going to the body with the right hand.
That's how I would play it if I was Mark.
Yeah, he's going to the body then the head.
I would stay in the body, stay on top, and control, and strike. Don't try to break the guard. Just be careful with the arm bar.
One thing that I'm impressed with Mark Coleman is he's throwing short punches to the head. He's not trying,
body.
Yeah, and he's not trying to loop his punches. So he's not going to spend the kind of energy he may have spent at the early part of his career. He's looked like he might be thinking about that neck crank.
Yeah.
He's thinking neck crank, but Shoji,
too high up there.
yeah, Shoji knows the good defense against the neck crank. I don't think Shoji's going to get neck cranked in this fight. Shoji, if anything, is one of the ultimate survivors in the Pride circuit. He's never lost by a tap out. He's only lost one fight, and that was to IGOR VOVCHANCHYN.
Mark's throwing some serious leather, boy. He's trying to kill this guy's ribs here. So this will be the thing where the wrestlers will have an advantage, the control factor. Oh, he's done some serious body shots. You can hear it.
Well, Shoji's tucking up real tight with that knee and that. Oh, but look at those red marks. He's getting welts on the side of his left rib cage.
But in a way, if you let Mark do that, he's going to tire out eventually. You can't maintain that kind of power for that length of time.
This is reminiscent of a fight that Don Fry had against Mark Hall, where he just punched and punched and punched and punched, almost punched himself out. Yeah. And they had to continue in the tournament. But Coleman is not expending the kind of energy Fry did against Mark Hall in that UFC fight.
He's expending a bit, but not. But how long will he maintain it? It's a 15-minute round, right?
Yeah.
So how long can you maintain that?
Because Coleman now has a reasonably good stand-up game. I don't think that Pat would be adverse to him popping back up and going stand-up.
Why not?
Again. Because he might be able to hurt, because he's got the guy hurt with body punches so far.
5 minutes passed in this round.
So we've got 10 minutes left, and Coleman has basically been all over Shoji.
Just in the control factor.
Just in the control, right.
That's all he has to do. That's all I would do. And that's where the wrestlers are going to have the advantage over most of the guys, because they can control the
Oh, that side of Shoji's is looking bad, but it may be more cosmetic than anything, because Shoji has a little bit of a layer of flesh there. He's not really cut. Usually, Mo. Oh, now they're going to restart them because they're starting to slide out of the ring. Well, in Pride rules, if fighters are engaged in a fight and they start to slide out of the ring, they will reset the fighters and make them start in the same position. Right. Now, Shoji has the kind of body type where the body punches will look bad, but because he's got that layer of skin, unlike a person who's really cut, it won't hurt him as much, right?
Layer of fat, basically.
Yeah.
Steve. Let's just be honest here. He's got a little layer of fat that's going to help him. Fat's a good thing, too.
Yes, Mo. No, I know I can count on my colleague and friend, Ray Smith, to cut to the chase. I have to be neutral here, but...
No, Mark's playing it smart. He's playing it pretty smart, but how long can he maintain his pressure is not an issue.
Shoji has strictly been in defensive mode since they went on the ground. He doesn't have a lot of options because Coleman has never been tapped out in a fight from a submission hold.
Well, he did have that one with Takada. That's that other part about Takada.
Oh, that's right. Actually, it was a heel hook, wasn't it?
You're right. It was a heel hook.
Yeah, it was a. So I stand corrected. Coleman was submitted by Nobuhiko Takada.
Yes. Gallant fight.
Yeah, it was a. Anyway, Mr. Shoji, Looks like he's showing some, uh-oh, Coleman's starting to land to the head now.
See, I personally don't like the closed guard for this kind of fighting. I think the open guard's a much better guard. Where the legs are in between the other guy's legs.
Yeah, you've got more options.
You got more options. You can move away from a lot of these strikes. Where in the closed guard, you're going to sit there and take a beating. Why?
Yeah, I agree with you because in the open guard, well, he can't sweep Coleman, but he can scoot him back.
He can scoot him back. He can push him back. He can go underneath or whatever. There's a lot more options. In the closed guard, you have one option: take a beating. Even Gracie didn't fight. Even Royce didn't fight the closed guard too much in this fight. He fought the open guard a little bit. Not the way that I would do it, but as far as the way I use my open guard, but he definitely did. His legs were always kept open so he could move.
Shoji throwing a little backhand with nothing on it.
Well, right now, Shoji's losing this round. This is a round that we can count.
Yes, this is a round to where if Coleman continues in this way, then we're back on the judge system after the Royce-Gracie fights because now all fights. Oh, Shoji pops back up. Shoji's got to get busy and do something.
I think he's thinking that Coleman's going to gas out as well. That's what I'm thinking.
But it doesn't look like Coleman. Coleman's got a lot of energy. Milicic was correct in saying that Coleman's stamina is much improved. And his boxing ability looks pretty decent.
It's a lot better.
But Coleman so far has dominated. Now, this is going to bring about a little bit of a thing. This has not been a close fight, but we have that 10-kilogram rule that the lighter fighter gets the edge in scoring. But I think that Coleman has pretty much controlled this fight. So,
yeah, he's controlled this
nice
fight.
trip takedown there by Mark Coleman back into the guard of AKIRA Shoji. But I can't see how that would be a factor in giving this a draw round.
No, I don't. I have to agree with you on that one, Steve.
So we're here at the Tokyo Dome for the Pride Fighting Championships 2000. AKIRA Shoji on the bottom, taking punch after punch from Mark Coleman.
And like I said, this is going to be difficult for the guy in the bottom to fight the wrestlers because essentially there's no stand.
Look at that side, Maurice.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice work. It's good work through Mark's end. But since there's no stand-ups, this is going to be bad for the guys who don't have any wrestling background, really. Jiu-jitsu does not fare well, nor does kickboxing for the most part fare well against the wrestlers on the ground. This is where he's going to control them.
Yeah, I know with your fight against Coleman, endurance was the major factor in that.
Major factor.
I mean, you had good defense that you had learned from, you know, the Shamrocks and the Lions Den,
yes,
and some of the other people you trained with, but the endurance, but you give Coleman some endurance.
10 minutes into the round.
Coleman really trying to tee off. Now, Coleman's got the side mount, and if he gets the mounted position, this could be good.
The mount's not a big concern, really. It's not a big concern.
Well, now he's got his back. Now, Coleman's not no notorious for this. Oh, good punch by Coleman.
Shoji's got a cut. Shoji's got a cut his eye.
And he's really starting to take a beating. I wouldn't be surprised if Coleman just turned this into a boxing match and wanted to keep it standing, because on the ground, Shoji has no shot. Shoji is getting lumped up now. Coleman is virtually unscathed by the fight so far. Shoji just measuring his man, going in with a jab. Oh, uppercut. Oh, good uppercut by Mark Coleman. It kind of grazed off the front of Shoji's face. Otherwise, it could have had some pretty bad consequences. Absolutely. Because that was a Hail Mary swinging from the rafters uppercut.
Shoji should have, if he had better striking, it could be a different fight. But right now, Mark feels comfortable on his feet because Shoji's not giving anything back. A couple of low kicks is not going to make the whole fight. You got to hit Mark in the face. You have to jab back.
Coleman really looks good, but he's fighting a smaller opponent. But nonetheless, I mean,
he's fighting well still.
He's fighting great. Shoji landed a good little foot left. And back into the standing clinch. Coleman dropping down low. Good body shot by Mark Coleman.
Good body shot, buddy.
Going back to that left side. Oh,
that one hurt Shoji. Because he's moving now. He's adjusting to the punches.
That's that same side he was grinding away at while they were on the ground. That's Shoji's left side, which is getting pretty ugly.
What Shoji should do is make Mark
through a right hook to the leg.
Yeah.
We're seeing more of that now.
There's no offense on Shoji's side, so therefore there's no fear for Mark to worry about anything. You have to fight back in order to make the guys go out his game plan.
3 minutes left.
Yeah, right now, Shoji's not going on the game plan. He's just letting Mark do what he wants. He's having his way with it.
At this point, as valiant a warrior as Shoji is, now Mark Coleman's throwing knees. As valiant a warrior as Shoji is, he needs, in my opinion, a knockout or at least a couple knockdowns to get in this fight to where it would be at least a draw.
Shoji's watching himself fight, to tell you the truth. He's looking at the monitor watching himself fight.
Well, there's one thing about Shoji. I mean, he epitomizes the word tough. I mean, he can really take some shots.
He's taking some shots.
Oh, that was a beautiful, good right hand by Mark Coleman. Coleman was right on the money. Shoji's got a good chin.
He's got a good chin.
Uppercut followed by a hook if he puts his head down again.
Coleman's punches are educated punches now.
Shoji's short.
Digging,
Shoji's grabbing the
standing.
short.
That's even more brutal than when they was on the ground.
What I would do, I'd make Mark fight me. Even though he's fighting, he's not fighting like he's fighting at his own pace.
Yeah.
You gotta make him get out of his pace.
Oh, his face is a mess right now.
And it's just the first round.
That right eye of his looks horrible. Shoji's blinking pretty hard.
If I was Shoji's corner, I'd probably throw the towel in now because he's not fighting. He has no offense.
You wouldn't wait till the end of the round?
Well, after this fight, definitely. After this round, definitely. He's not throwing any offense. He's only doing this receiving.
Yeah, he's taking a beating, that's for sure. Oh, Shoji tries a low kick. Coleman steps in. Oh, trying to spinning back kick, but Coleman stepped in. Good move by Coleman. Coleman has vastly improved his stand-up game. Shoji takes Mark Coleman down.
Yeah, reversed it in midair.
Unbelievable.
And look at him fighting back.
Unbelievable.
Oh, but Mark's gonna muscle out of it.
He's gonna muscle out. Use a little bit of energy, but get back out. That was really a valiant move by Shoji. Half a whizzer.
If the ropes weren't there, he would have got it.
But the ropes actually helped him control him for a second.
It worked for him and against him. On the bottom, it worked for him. No, let me rephrase that. When he threw him, it stopped him from going completely over, but it held him there for a second.
I think that you have a valid point about Shoji's corner throwing in the towel because Shoji is looking pretty bad.
Yeah, it's not worth it. You know, you can always fight again.
Exactly. That's one thing. With open weight tournaments, now that a lot of the guys, they're getting comparable skills, it's really tough for the small guys to beat the big guys like it was in the beginning when people like Royce Gracie came on with a lot of skills and were fighting guys with a little less skill.
Less or none.
But weight is a factor now. It definitely is. That's the end of round one. Mark Coleman virtually put a beating on AKIRA Shoji on the ground and standing. Mark got a little upset early on when they called a knee that he threw to the body, which was a little low blow. And
one more round of this. This is one more. It's 3 rounds, or this is it?
No, it's.
There shouldn't be an overtime, I don't think.
No, it's 1 15-minute.
1 15-minute. Well, then he wins.
Yeah, it's 1 15-minute round. Yeah.
But to look at him like they're going for another round. 2 rounds?
1 round in the judges.
Okay, we're looking at a judge's decision in this. So they're going to come to the center of the ring to announce. Now, Coleman's on top. He's hammering away, thus the name Mark the Hammer Coleman, going to the body and the head. And here we are for the judge's decision.
Yeah, it's not going to go in. It's decisive. Mark won the fight. There's no question.
I cannot picture how they could come to any other conclusion. And okay, it's a unanimous decision victory, a dominant, one-sided victory for Mark Coleman. Mark Coleman advances in the Pride Fighting Championship 2000 with a dominant victory.
And look at that. That's what about the sport, the camaraderie, the sportsmanship. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
It's such a tough type of fighting. It's very nice for people to see it. You guys can go in there and beat each other up. Come out like buddies. It's really nice.
I think Coleman exhibited a great improvement vastly in his stand-up, in his ground control, in his patience. He's really grown as a warrior in this sport.
Yeah, he's grown. You know, he's, but like I said, you have to fight. You got to make him fight too. Everything he throws is power. So you can't let him control the pace. You have to make him out of his game plan.
And it was a great performance by Mark Coleman.
It was a good performance.
And it was a very soulful and heartful performance by AKIRA SHOJI in losing. He will be back.
Oh yeah, he's back.
He's well liked here in Japan, and for obvious reasons, because he's got a whole lot of heart.
Yeah. Like in there. No, look at it in the video, it looks pretty close. I mean, it can be questionable if you want to.